Okay, don't make contact at his wrist. Make contact further up his arm. So it's nice and relaxed onto arm. And now watch how little pressure is. Just my body shifting back.
That really offsets you.
Yeah.
Okay? Right? Now I'm going to dip on this knee again, rotate back, and dip on the other knee. See the different weight shifts? So let's use the same example, but structurize it. Okay, so we'll take little Jimmy. He gives me the punches. And I do the same thing, very yin. Now right here I'm going to dip and I'm going to bring him to me. And I'm going to dip before I transfer or as I'm transferring my weight to this foot. Don't transfer out here and drop him. You'll throw him. I'm going to dip. Now the weight's on this foot. Okay, but he's structured. Is that fair?
I'm stuck.
Okay. And then I should be able to just move back and have light pressure. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're using structure, which is part of the off-balancing idea. But it's subtle off-balancing rooted in the ground. There's a subtle off-balance. But he knows it because he's trained for a long time and he's studied with me as well. He knows it. But most people, when you've done this, they don't even feel like anything happened. They're just going to hit you with the other hand. Because they don't feel like it's worth worrying about. Right? But it's a subtle off-balancing. And if I had done this, now it's a partial off-balancing. And if I do that, that's a complete off-balancing. So, okay. If he doesn't know what's happening and he doesn't feel anything in here, or he doesn't have an intent of attacking, okay, nothing's going to happen. Almost every good Aiki person wants a good attack. This attack, relax. If I'm doing Aiki off of this, I'm doing Jiu-Jitsu because I'm forcing something to happen. He wants I want a solid energy that I can read. Okay? You see what I'm saying? On all that change, you saw my hand move. I didn't move my hand. He moved my hand. I moved down here. Steve DiOrio just brought this up from a Weiqi movement, which is in Seisan. We're not going to do the exact Weiqi movement, but so he punches me, and I'm going to do friction with the other arm. It's still friction, but it's friction with the other arm. Then I'm going to slide in with friction. Turn my body a little and dip again. But the friction is the reception, getting him to be subtly and then partially off balance before I turn my upper body and dip my knee, which gets him to be thrown, which is the yang side of the off balancing. Okay, so watch it again. That's the reception. It's the same thing I did with this hand, with this hand. Good. Nice. Yeah, there you go. But I'm going to do an outside forearm block on the inside of his arm. I step back and I block. I don't want to get hit with that other arm, so I'm going to pass him. So I'm going to do a down block with this hand. That sets him up for the counterattack, right? All right, so a whack. You've got to turn this enough so it's, don't do this. Well, I blocked it. No, you haven't. You just stepped out of the way. This has blocked it. Okay? Now, don't do this because by that time he's hit you. You've got to flick this wrist, but you've got to be aware of your elbow. If you flick this wrist with your elbow out here, it won't be as effective as if you keep your elbow down. So I'll go like this. See the down block on that? Hey, what's for you? And then I go, hey, like I don't care. So I'm just going to step back, use a little body angle. Now, I would suggest stepping back out of range so we can't get you anyway. Because you don't want to mess up and get hit. But you can do this right in range. You can go turn your hips and do it right in range. Okay? I don't want you to think it's unrealistic. It's just that when you're learning it, you can't get the closer range. So just go back like that. See how soft that is? Just like this. And go like that. It's the same sequence with a less rigid format. Now I'm going to bring this up, that's segmented. I'm going to bend my knees, that's segmented. I'm going to turn my hips, that's segmented. That look familiar? Okay. Hang on. Relax. Okay, now I'm going to connect here. Does that look familiar? Now let's see if we can do unified. We've been here before. I'm very unimaginative. I have to do the same thing again and again, but I also feel that it makes you learn better when you can repeat it from different angles. A. C. Yeah? And you can't teach something where you have to understand the concept of what to do with your weight against his arm when his arm is flashed out and brought back. But the concept still works. Just for the sake of camera, I'm going to have you do a right foot forward, right jab. If I go like this, and I parry this, and I ride it back in, do I have weight control? Yeah. Right? So I have to make sure that I ride it in so that he can't use the other arm. Okay? So can you do it? Yeah. The other thing he mentioned is what happens if he hook punches? I can't now do this, or this, or this, but then I use my passing to get to this. So my passing is applicable to that situation.